Greetings, kings, queens, knights, nobles, jesters, to the 20th episode of Outside the Box with Seth, Siyon, featuring Radiant Rose, Candy Cash. Que pasa, mi gente? Bienvenido a Outside the Box con Seth, Siyon, y gracias por el apoyo. ¿Estás bien? Wepa. Welcome everybody to the 20th episode of Outside the Box with Seth, Siyon. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back, and I had a little intermission time and a little self-examination time, and everything. So I'm back, and we about to roll this thing, and I got a good topic we're gonna talk about. But we're gonna hit it from different angles, and speak our truth on it. So y'all enjoy it. Also, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also share with anybody and with whomever also. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. First off, I want to let our guests introduce themselves. So I'll start with you, Miss Mala Rose.
Hello everybody, I am Radiant Rose. It's been a minute, been a long time. I should have left you.
That is.
It's been a long minute, but I'm glad to be back, and I can't wait for
glad to have you back. Glad to have you back.
Yes. Can't wait to get into what we're gonna get into today.
Right on.
All right, I'm Candy Cash. I am the classmate of Seth Siyon, class of 99, Webb High School. And wow. I'm also the broker owner of CJ Cash Island Real Estate Group, based in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Ooh. So I know you said you want to get into something earlier about we classmates and everything, 99, and we actually was in band together. We played the saxophone, and for the record, I was on first chair, and she used to always try to battle me, but
no, he always got upset when I beat him. So yeah, we were in band from Northern Granville from 7th grade all the way up through concert band in high school.
Yeah.
So I was a student athlete, but I definitely love my instrument, the alto sax.
What's up? So yeah, we're gonna start off talking about, because we actually reconnected during alumni homecoming this past week. So I want to speak on that for one, and then I want to speak on what homecoming really means, not only from a physical state point, but also from a spiritual state point. So yeah, we're gonna jump right to it. So I actually looked up the word homecoming, and it means a return home. Also, an annual event at schools and colleges for visiting graduates. And I just give a brief experience of what I experienced on homecoming last week. It was like my first time since I graduated to reconnect with a lot of my old classmates, and it was very it was good, very good to see them, because growing up in a small town, we was back then we was like family. My high school, we probably had 300 people in our class, if that. Yeah, so it was a very small community, and we all grew up together. We all was raised together. It's just like a family. So reconnecting was very refreshing, and it's just good to see people that that you started with and everything. So, what was your experience like during homecoming week?
Yeah, definitely. I felt the same. I hadn't seen a lot of our classmates since we graduated. I've been back to my university's homecoming. I graduated from North Carolina Central. So I've been back for that homecoming, but for the high school, I haven't seen everyone in about 20 years. And I will say, because I didn't grow up with you all, I actually, there was an issue with the school system at the time when I was finishing up elementary school. So myself and two other classmates, where my father was on the school board, and they decided that we should attend school in another county. So I actually came over to Granville County 7th grade and finished out, high school. And I enjoyed my experience. I felt like everyone embraced me as if I grew up. My father's from Granville County. So a lot of people, even my classmates, some of them know my father's family, but I felt like, it was like coming home. So, and I had been in and out by living, internationally. So me coming this time, and I just wish I would have did more activities. I came in on Friday, they had the tailgate, and then they had something Saturday, but it was a good experience.
You want to speak on anything about the homecoming, or you want to just get right into it?
I guess for me, it would be a bit different because I'm not even sure if my high school even had a homecoming because
Mhm.
we're the first graduating class. I'm part of the first graduating class from Granville Central. So I'm not even sure if we had a homecoming, but we have social media. We're more social media prone. So even if we haven't physically seen each other in forever, I feel like my class, we kind of keep up with each other on Instagram, especially Facebook, you know, TikTok. TikTok is a new thing, but you know, we kind of kept up that way. I'm not sure. I think they probably did already have one. I'm not 100% sure. But you know, reunions and things like that, I'm gonna try to keep my eyes open for them a little bit more. Get out there and see who's gonna get involved and things like that.
Oh. So yeah, like you know, homecoming can be not only schools, you know, it could be with your family because you know people have family reunions, which is also like a homecoming. You know, when people transcend, they also call that a homecoming. So you know, homecoming can play out various ways. But one point I want to hit as far as like dealing with yourself and like from a spiritual point, like homecoming for yourself is very important too as well. Like always like the same way you get together with like old classmates or old family or old friends, whatever, you need to get to know yourself, like your true self. Sometimes we can get distracted through the world, through you know, all the media, through all the, you know, all the distractions of the world. And it's important to always like return back to your true self, to know who you are. You know, and also it's a time of love, you know, because like I can say during the experience that we had during homecoming, it was a lot of love. Like it was, you know, we it might have been back in school, we might have like didn't like each other, we might have like, you know, been a whole lot, but during that time it was just nothing but love. Like anything that transpired back then, it was like irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, and I just want to like focus on like, yourself too, like learn how to like love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Forgive yourself. You know, homecoming is a time where you like don't see people for a while, and sometimes you can like lose yourself for a while as well. And even the stuff that you did when you like reunite yourself together, you can be like, you know, don't focus on the things that you didn't do or the things that you feel like that you know shouldn't have did. Just focus on the evolvement, like how you evolved from it, how you overcame it, and how you got you to the position where you are now. Sometimes, you know, like I said, we lose ourselves through the illusions of the world. And, you know, it's unknowingly, sometimes we lose ourselves because we become characters of the world. You see what I'm saying? Because of the way society has trained us to be, how they want us to be. Always remain true to yourself, regardless, at the end of the day. Like, I understand everybody has a job, everybody has a position, but always try to stay true to yourself because you are unique, you are your own individual, and you're not meant to be just like the next person. It's like you have to understand that you have a purpose in life, and in order to fulfill that purpose, you have to be yourself. You can't be nobody else. This is not the Oscars. This is not the Academy Awards. This is real. This is your true life. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to like, you just have to come back to yourself every now and then. Like I say, I get it. We all live in the world. We all have jobs. We all have, you know, obligations in this world. So it's easy to get, you know, lose yourself sidetracked. Yeah. You got anything to add on this?
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, definitely in my personal life, professional life, just even with what I've been doing internationally, I've felt kind of what you were talking about in terms of, you know, any mistakes you may have made in the past and where do you at? And I feel like this is also a time that, you know, now we're at a different part of our life and just kind of reinventing yourself and just, like you said, reconnecting to who you are. And no matter where you go, just always reconnecting back to your roots. I mean, I've been home, you know, every couple months the past few years, but definitely I've been home. I never attended our class reunion, the 10-year reunion or the 20-year reunion, just because I had different things going on in life. But, you know, sometimes we do need to take a step back and just kind of reconnect. And, you know, it also helps you on your journey to kind of see where people, you know, looking at your past, your present, and then it helps you with the future. So this is very important for us.
I agree. You want anything to add to that?
I have to say, even for myself, like I said, our high school was kind of new, so I would say the type of homecomings I would say would be, I guess, what me and my friends do, because we're all so spread out. Because we're still all really close. So even though we kind of graduated high school together or in the same year, we kind of grew up together, we still remain kind of close. So we used to, when life was a bit simpler and we got out of high school, we used to get up once a week. I guess that would be kind of like our homecoming. Like everybody would have their own lives and we would always come together once a week at someone's house, reconnect, discuss different things, get on board with different things. And then that slowly turned into like maybe once a year or maybe once every couple of years. So I guess to me, when you guys are kind of describing that, that's how I kind of see it in a sense. Where you say it's not just school events and things of that nature. I'm like, people probably kind of do that more often than they realize. Like if you have an annual girls trip or something that you do, that can be a homecoming event.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure the one that you're planning the girls trip with are, or any type of friend trip with, are the people that you don't see every day.
Right.
Like you want to, or communicate every day like you want to.
And I could say I know most people do homecomings once a year, but I mean, I even feel like it should be considered doing it like once a month every now and then, and I understand people, live in different places of the world and all this stuff, but for the ones that, are around each other, I would say like once a month. And again, I tie this to yourself again, like you should get to know yourself daily, you know what I'm saying? Like, reuniting with yourself, like have your homecoming every day, because again, that's the only way that'll keep you on your path. When you do that, like reconnecting with yourself, reflecting on yourself, evaluating the genuineness of like your life, you know what I'm saying? And also like taking the time to have gratitude for what you do have. A lot of times we always like focus on what we don't have and what we want. And it's like it's a slap in the face, because like you're blessed. Like you have this, you have a house, you have whatever, like you have so many things that we take for granted. So I think it's important that we all take the time to like have gratitude for what we do have and appreciate the things that we do have in our lives. Because the world, is always about hustle bustle, like get this, get that, do this, get that, gotta make this money, blah blah blah. Sometimes you gotta take the time to like invest that in yourself, like put that energy towards yourself, because that's gonna come as long as you do that part.
Right.
So like appreciate your growth, appreciate your success. And that's one thing you can say with the reunion, like, everybody has their, their different jobs and, different,
roles.
People have moved and they've accomplished different goals, and do the same thing with yourself. Like, appreciate, because ain't nobody else gonna do it but you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you expect other people to like give you like this, praise, whatever, they're not gonna do it. I mean, granted, you might have people that's gonna, tell you like, yeah, you're doing good, blah blah blah. But it's like one of them things like you'd be like, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta take that time to like you gotta really give yourself flowers. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself flowers and appreciate yourself.
That's one of the worst places to seek validation from, is from other people.
Yeah. So like I said, I just want to talk about this, like the homecoming, and tie it in also with dealing with the individual yourself. And if anybody got anything to add to this?
No, I think you're spot on with that topic. And I know, like I said, it's also dependent on the stages you are in your life. Like we're now in our, our classes in our 40s, early 40s.
I'm 23, goddamn.
But, it's just like wherever your life takes you, certain stages of your life, like people, 20s, 30s. So now I think even if you lose that connection, you kind of things come full circle. That's why people reconnect after years and kind of a new beginning. So I think it's also the time of year. And it's funny because if you really think about homecomings, typically are in the fall,
right?
When the seasons are starting to change. So, so it's like a new beginning. So, I always, especially with like some of my college brothers, we always did our girls trips, but then past few years we hadn't been able to do that, but we plan on, reconnecting. So it's always good to do that. And like you said, reconnect with yourself.
That's right.
Travel, see something different, because it gives you a perspective. So when you come back, you can see things from a different view, when you get out of your immediate radius.
Right. Agreed. All right. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're gonna jump on another topic here. This is broad. This is not like just like a woman and man. It could be any kind of relationship. But we want to talk about being authentic in the beginning of any relationship. I'm gonna elaborate on being authentic. Being authentic basically means like be who you are. Because a lot of people will try to fit in or would try to get approval by being a certain way around, certain
Or
people.
show their representatives.
Right. Show the representative. They're not being themselves, and eventually you're gonna get called out. It's gonna, you're gonna expose yourself who you truly are.
A lot of people are scared of the real them, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. You want to elaborate on that?
I mean, I could say, like, strictly from the standpoint, like, I mean, nobody likes to specifically acknowledge. A lot of people don't like to acknowledge, like, things that they need improvement on. I don't want to necessarily call them flaws, because that does have kind of a negative connotation. But, things that they would probably need improvement on, And sometimes we can be in denial about those things. And sometimes we don't really like those things, depending on what they are. So, it's, no one wants to think bad about themselves. So say, like, for instance, I don't want to go too extreme with this. Say you got sticky fingers. We'll say sticky fingers.
Stealing. Okay. like steal things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not something that you're going to be forthcoming with other people. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be that forthcoming with yourself about that. So when, like you say, someone calls it out, eventually, if you get around other people and you are not acting in, that's one of your true self aspects, and you're trying to cover it up, the facade only lasts for so long. It's going to fall because it's not the real you. And then, like you said, people will call it out. They'll call it out. And then I think that's when the blow ups, the confrontations, that's when people start to get those escalated conversations. Right. We'll say those.
Well, I think with that, more so, especially for women, I think early on in dating scenarios, we are kind of not walking on eggshells, but we want to make sure that we don't mess up the opportunity. Sometimes I think for women, we don't want to just tell everything about ourselves or show everything, but we want to kind of want you to get to know us without us feeling like
we're being critiqued.
Exactly. Because, and I've had even friends tell me that, they do that. Like, they're holding back when it comes time for, a first date or first conversations. They don't go that deep into certain topics. And we always talk about, I know when I say we, women always talk about how men show their representatives, but I feel like women do that a lot. And then, but
women, they say right around a month. That early on too.
You said what?
We're kind of taught that early on.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Because around month 3 or 6, you definitely see that real person. And I always say experiences will teach you how somebody is too. Like when you travel with people, when you have to go through things to understand how a person is. It's not just about the surface dating or just whatever conversation. That's why even in conversations, men sometimes I think will tell you what they feel like you want to hear, or they'll tailor it. Yeah. And they'll tailor it so they'll say, well, what do you like to do? I'd rather you just kind of see that authentically versus you Q&A-ing me, because I feel like you're going to tailor your response based on what I say.
I feel like you're being investigated.
Or doing that to try to win me, like to try to, if you know that this person likes that, you're going to try to tailor your actions and words.
Kind of like there's an ulterior motive.
Well, yeah,
maybe not ulterior, but there's a different goal.
There's always an end goal.
There's a goal that you're trying to reach, and I don't think our goals are the same.
You know that, yeah. Well, what's your end goal as a man? I'll have.
Well, I would say this, like, and I get what y'all saying. I just feel like that both men and women need to set boundaries in the beginning. And like abide by them, you know what I'm saying? It's that like being their law, basically. But I will also say this, like, learning how to have discernment of like who genuinely likes you or who is just with you for their benefit, if that makes sense. And I don't want to, talk about nobody's career. I don't want to talk about like, what people do, but you would know, like, if somebody is with you because of what you got or who you are or what they think they can get from you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's learning how to have that discernment. I think we get caught up in like you said, we get caught up on the surface,
Mhm.
and people don't do their homework and research internally to figure out like why is this person like, and then it's having them conversations, you know what I'm saying? Like, just be real with it. Don't be scared to have a conversation. So what's your intentions,
Yeah, you have
you know what I'm saying? Like,
definitely.
I mean, it's not uncomfortable. It's just you being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
skipping a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Skipping a lot of unnecessary steps.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would rather just get that out the way versus 6 months, finding out, something that I pretty much already knew, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to have that conversation, so I just let it like linger. You know what I mean?
And I think women a lot of times will dial back our discernment. We have, that innate intuition, and that's real that women have that gift where we have those inklings and those feelings about things, but we want to keep going with it. And sometimes, depending on who you are, I've been guilty of this. You want to just kind of see. It's like you already know there's something you want to see it, and that's bad when you
blinded by the potential.
when you want to just blinded by the potential, or you seeing something in that person that they don't see in themselves, but you're trying to
bring it out
and being, but that goes back to what you said about the inner work, and it's because it's something internally that you want to the healing the inner child, and doing the self work. And because especially if you keep attracting the same type of people, and
you're on the hamster wheel.
Exactly.
You're going through the same shit.
And I think, like you said, being okay with having those hard conversations in the beginning, not going 0 to 1,000, but really asking people, what's your end goal, and letting them tell you and show you, not just tell you, but show you.
I agree. Yeah, like you said, like everything, like you said, don't go 0 to 1,000, but in moderation, like get to the root, But you was getting into what I'm hitting on that. So, like, to avoid that, like, it's knowing how to love yourself first, and how you do that, like, by doing the things that makes you happy, that makes you glad, that keeps you at peace without involving other people. That's what I don't think people understand.
Yes.
People are always like, I'm having fun with my friends or with my blah blah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what about you though? Like, what do you like? Can you be alone by yourself and have a good time? You know what I'm saying?
Pick out your own.
Can you pick out your own hobby? Can you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, so that's the part that I challenge everyone, is like, figure out what makes you happy. What do you like? Like, learn how to love yourself. Be with yourself and have fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just be happy being around yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I'm a loner. Like, anybody who knows, I'm an Aquarius. So we're loners at heart. We are social people, but we're like an extroverted invert. That makes sense. So we have time that we have to have reflection, and we're in our thoughts. And sometimes you go so deep, but you have to spend time in your thoughts. And especially, if you're coming out of relationships, you gotta have time to yourself. Being always doing things, you gotta slow down and meditate and just think about things, and not always be on the go. Definitely.
And to just go off of that, like, you have to really, a lot of people don't like to isolate. They don't like to be by themselves. And honestly, I think everybody at some point, in probably multiple points in time in their life, have some time to silence the background and reconvene with yourself and get yourself back together, recenter yourself. Because eventually all that outside influence, all that outside talk eventually warps and shapes your own inner thoughts, feelings, behavior, all of that. And if you really don't have a strong sense in self to be like, hey, I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't really apply to me, but I hear you, you're going to fall prey to being, like you said, in that hamster wheel. You're going to be going in the same circle every single time.
Eternal wheel.
Fall into that comfortability because you already know what's going on. You know how this is going to happen. You already know how this goes. And you don't even realize that you're not even happy where you are.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to remove the physical intimacy first. Because when you start, it can go into a deeper cycle when you are just not tapping into that personal time, but just looking for love, like you said, from other people, and not doing the work on yourself. So it's definitely spot on with that. So
another thing I want to since we're talking about homecoming and reunite with classmates, school, like, so, like, this is something I've been want to talk about for a while. So like we all went to school, and kindergarten through 12th grade. You know, some went to college, and some did more things and greater things. That's cool. But I just want to say this right here, like school was set up for us to be enslavement of this society.
That workforce.
Most of the time when you was in school, they ask you what you want to be when you grow up. Most people are saying the same thing. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. Like, so society has basically raised us to work for them, for the economy. Granted. All right. So I say that to say, like, once you learn yourself, and once you learn how to like know who you are, then you can step outside that box, that societal box, and figure it out. Give you a good example. COVID was a good example, like how people had to step outside the box. Couldn't go into work no more. You know what I'm saying? Everything, like people lost their jobs, you know what I'm saying? Because, and it forced them to figure like, what can I do to make a living? What can I do to survive? What can I do, to basically like keep my family, keep my home, and all this stuff. And not only that, you got to know your partner better, because y'all spent a lot more time together. Like your kids, you got to know them better. Y'all had to spend more time together. So that was like a little example of the awakening. And I say to say, like, you figure out a way to create your own empire and your own business, because out of all the people on this earth, how many billion it is, I'm not sure, but everybody is here for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that from a societal view, we have to keep the economy strong. But fuck the economy, man. You got to worry about yourself at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So like, figure out, because you want to be doing something that you love to do, instead of like force or something that you have to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, who wants to just like work 8-12 hours a day and hate it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who? Yeah. And I understand people have to do what they got to do. I'm not knocking nobody for doing that, for doing whatever work you do. All I'm saying is challenge yourself sometime to figure out, because it's something you were here for a purpose. You just got to figure it out, and you can be very successful by just doing something that you love to do, and like can't wait to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not. And I've met a lot of people that have done that. They're like, man, I'm doing this, and they love it. So yeah, go ahead.
I think people have suppressed that entrepreneur spirit.
Right.
And I'm living my dream. I always wanted to have a business internationally. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to go to law school. I still may eventually do that. So I see school as a tool. I mean, that's something that, no one can take away from you when you have your education. I'm not going to ever knock that. But to your point, I've seen my friends do it at this point, where they have suppressed their dreams because they had to work the 9 to 5. You got to use the 9 to 5 as a tool. That can be a tool to your entrepreneurship. I mean, if you look at all the great people in the world, most of them are entrepreneurs. They own real estate. They're in different, and that doesn't mean you can't. And I feel like you need to have multiple streams, like having one stream of income and coming home. But because I guess life is life, and I've heard people say, well, I had kids, I had to work the job, and then they fall into the mundane. They get off work, and then it's nothing else. They have nothing else to look forward to. But that was a good time during COVID, like you said, that people started businesses. They got into their entrepreneur spirit. They started being more creative. Now we're in the era where even things like this, the podcast, people are more into their creative spirit, and they're not ashamed of it, because you used to tell somebody 5-6 years ago, oh, I'm a podcaster, I'm this. People look at, it's still kind of the older school generation still looks at that. I ain't
gonna listen to it.
But that's where we are right now. We're in this age. So
I know people that watch more podcasts. They do regular TV.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
People don't even watch regular TV no more.
No, they don't.
First of all,
go to YouTube.
No such thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's all Netflix and all these social media streams. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna pick about what you said. So, yeah, I agree with you 100%, because like everything that I've done, since my first job working at fast food to working retail to working in a plant, like all this stuff, I learned stuff from that to learn how to make it me. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So like you can like whatever you do, like learn from that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I'm not saying it's like unbeneficial, but what I'm saying to you is take the tools that you learn at them jobs and make it apply it to your own life, and apply it to your own empire. See what I'm saying? Because we all you can you you can have your own shit. You can have your own empire. But again, like, you know, society has trained us that we have to, you know, work this job for 25, 30 years, get a retirement. Then by the time you get a retirement, you damn near can't even enjoy it because you know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
they thinking that once they've hit a certain point in their life, I mean, you got to think we're not even middle. We haven't lived half of our life. A lot of people feel like it's over. Like, oh, I'm this age now, I can't do this. People look at the guy from KFC. He became, you know, he started KFC at 51, and you had, you know, so many people have came into their path later in life, and I think people just they've lost their vision. And it's interesting, kind of circling back to the homecoming aspect. When you look at what your classmates, you know, we're looking at everyone. You can measure that against yourself. You can also say, okay, maybe someone can re-inspire you to fulfill what you thought that you lost, you know, along the way, or vice versa, you know. So yeah, it's a good time for reflection.
So let me ask you a question, like, I thought about this while you was talking. I don't know the definition for this, and I don't even know how to really, you know, explain it. But you always hear people say life. What is that? What does that mean?
Life is giving you well, I don't want to just, you're going through the perils of life. In life, we're going to have ups and downs. So whatever your life is doing to you at the time, whether you are going through, you know, dealing with death, or dealing with whatever you're going through in your season, you know, that's what I mean by life is life.
That's good. Yeah, because see, like, no, I agree 100%. Because I will also say this, like, I figured that was, you know, people mean by that, but it's to me, it seemed like it's brought up in a negative light.
Well, because life is hard. Life is not easy.
True.
Life is hard, and you're gonna have ups and downs.
But one thing we have to learn in life is like you said, you know, previously, it's like different seasons. Like you're gonna have times where everything's gonna be fine and dandy. There's gonna be some times where it's not gonna be. It's gonna be times where you got plenty of money. It's gonna be times where you don't. It's gonna be times where you and your spouse are perfect. There's gonna be times where y'all not. That's what we have to expect in life in the beginning. Like so I say that to say, if you expect your life to always be the same, you setting yourself up for life. You see what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to take the punches. You gotta learn how to overcome the obstacles. You gotta learn how to like overcome the times where you like feel like, you know, everything is against you, because it's for your evolving. You know what I mean? Like if you are the same all the time, ain't nothing changing. How are you going to evolve? How are you going to grow? How are you going to mature? You see what I'm saying?
You come out of those perils.
Right. And I'm not saying it's easy. I understand this. Trust me, I understand. I'm human too, so I get it. But one thing I don't think people understand is like the number one killer in the world is stress.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And stress comes from life. You see what I'm saying? So I say that to say, like, you know, I actually looked up the word stress, and it says it's a state of extreme difficulty, pressure, or strain. Now, where do you think that pressure and strain is hitting? Here. And yeah, and like this is like the optimal thing that you have is like your mind. You know what I'm saying? So if you're putting pressure on it due to things that you have no control over, and putting strain on it, then it's gonna take you away from here. You know what I'm saying? And you have to thing about it, you just have to understand that when you do go through these times, again, it's all coming full circle. This is time for you to do a self-evaluation, a reflection of everything, and also a time of just having gratitude. Because even though you're going through these times, you still have so much that you need to be thankful for and have gratitude for.
You can live another day.
You look at the people in Western North Carolina, you have people lost their homes, they don't have nowhere to go, like, and you know, and we complaining about, and people complaining about, I ain't gonna be able to get this new car. You know, it's like, it's just, just need to be more gratitude. You know what I'm saying? It's people all over the world is going through worse stuff than you are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a bed to lay in and a pillow and a refrigerator to go to, got lights in your house. I mean, you need to be thankful. Like stop taking shit for granted. You know what I mean? So again, yes, I understand life is life, and I understand you get to go. We all go through stress, but it ain't that serious. It really not. It's really not. It's really not. And I think that's come. You know, we especially in this Western hemisphere, we are very spoiled. We're very spoiled. You know what I'm saying? We feel like that we should just, you know, everything that we want, we should have. And when we do go through difficult time, it's like, it ain't right. It ain't fair.
Oh, why is me?
Why me? Man, stop that shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
because Western society has not forced people to tap into their survival skills. I will say that when you live outside of your culture,
you should,
because I first lived in Jamaica 5 years, and sometimes we have an issue with the water. And I was like, you know, then it's like when you live in other countries, even if you're in Europe, they have issues that the United States, I tell people all the time, you're spoiled. Even with the AC, you have to know how to navigate. And I feel like when you live outside of your culture, because I tell people, even though I'm in Dominican Republic now, it's not all sugar plum and fairy tales. I mean, it's very difficult living in another country, dealing with nuances of other cultures. And when you can live in that atmosphere, it teaches you things. That is the best experience. I feel like anybody should do an exchange program, or they should self do it and travel. My mom and dad, they always took us on vacations. We always traveled. And if you didn't do it when you were a kid, you need to make yourself go outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I agree. Anything you want to add on that, Ma?
I think that would be very beneficial because, I mean, if you just only stay in one societal view of life, that's just the only view that you're going to have. And there's a whole world out here to explore.
Yeah, I mean, even
TV to make you, I mean, look, TV
but they
is
can
not the best. That's
dress it
not
up.
where you need to shape your views from.
No, because
that's not real. They're going to show you what they
right.
In other countries, they'll show you
Exactly.
You're going to see things that they don't censor. Here, they censor a lot of things, so it's not reality.
Yeah. And I mean, even like just traveling throughout this country. I mean, like all this, like like everybody needs to step outside the comfort zone every now and then. Just learn to appreciate what you have. Learn to appreciate, you know, again, when you go through these trials and these difficulty situations, like just learn that it's a time to like just. I'm not telling you, I'm be honest with you, because you know, everybody know my situation. So when I was in prison, right. You know, that's like the worst of the worst, you know what I'm saying? Being in a situation like that. But it was like having them moments where, you know, I'm thankful that, you know, at least I do got this little, you know, cot to lay on. At least I do, you know, have my, you know, own room. It's like the little stuff. Right. And by me doing that, like I got blessed so much, you know what I'm saying? And it also helped me get through it, you know what I'm saying? And you know, because, you know, before I went in, I didn't think about like stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I can't wait to just go to the refrigerator. I can't wait. I go to the old bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? I can't just wait till I can just be in a room by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like people take stuff for granted, man. Like so, I just say like just know that stressing is no more killer, and it's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Just learn how to be more grateful and like fight. You just got to fight through it. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna come out a better person. And then most times, what most people say is, I see why this happened. I'm glad this happened. Because I've seen people where they even lost their jobs and thinking the world going in, and then they end up finding the job that they always wanted. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to a scripture now. All things work together for good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
right.
But then it's sometimes, you know, where bad things are going to happen, and it may, but
That's
there
why you
is
have to
going to be,
expect that.
it's you know. But in the end, things do end up working out. They have a way of working out in whatever situation. Eventually, you'll see it come full circle.
That's right.
Yeah,
I agree. So we're gonna hit I don't know, I've been going for a minute, but I'm gonna touch on one more thing. Like, and I think you spoke on it earlier, and it's kind of like when you was talking about being in relationships, how you don't want to like tell your significant other, whoever you're talking to, everything because you don't want them. But the word I think that you should have used was judge.
Well, yeah, I think in the beginning, especially if you are a transparent person, and I feel like women are more so like I want to tell everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure you've experienced that on dates. I don't know, but women want to just like divulge everything, and you have to be able to keep some things, to be revealed in time. But
and that's wisdom, using wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I would just say this, like, as far as like this society is a society that judges everything, though, and it's hard for people to be their authentic self because people judge them. You hear people say, "Oh, this person weird," or "This person like they kind of
because they don't fit their
they don't fit in that that ram that we look at." But I just say this, like on that note, like no one should ever judge nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like you can judge, like they say, judge the fruit, but don't judge the person. But I look at it like this: so just because I like apples, you might not like apples. That don't mean it's bad. You get what I'm saying? Like we all have different tastes. We all have our own individual like pleasures and satisfaction. But just because it don't fit in your box don't mean it's bad. You see what I'm saying? It's just not for you. So I just say that, people just need to learn how to like stay in their lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what's good for you and don't judge any, because first of all, it's only one judge. And we can get spiritual on this note. It's only one judge. It's only one. So, and that goes with anything. Like even when, I don't even want to bring this up because it talk about too much, but it just did a thing. Like the man has been judged. Let the shit go, man. Like, I mean, all that is a distraction.
Y'all been blind anyway.
It's a distraction. But people are they are entertaining it like to the point where it's like it's consuming people. Like it's all they work. I'm like
every time you open up any social media app, it's a baby.
I mean it's everywhere. Like it's crazy. I'm like it's overshadowing the stuff that happened with the hurricane. Like people ain't. You got people in West North Carolina. They still fucked up out there. You know what I'm saying? But people worried about Diddy. They worried about all this conspiracy shit. I'm like get it. I mean, Lee, this is crazy. Like how people just. But it says also in Isaiah 30:10 how people entertain the lies and they don't like to hear the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because the lies more entertaining. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the truth, they don't want to hear it because the truth penetrates to the soul and it convicts. You know what I'm saying? So.
What's that quote? They say ignorance is bliss.
Exactly. So yeah, man, like I say, like I tell people like just stick to the truth. All the other shit just, don't entertain it because all you're doing is putting yourself in a state where you're gonna be missing out on your own blessings. You see what I'm saying? We've been going for a minute. Anyone got anything else you want to add before I close out?
No, I think we touched on a lot of different things, and that's pretty much it.
Learn yourself, be yourself, and stay true to yourself. It's a scary road, but it's so rewarding at the same time.
So you want to shout out your business in DR real quick?
Yeah, so I have CJ Cash Island Real Estate Group. So that is my brokerage entity. I'm based in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. So if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, please, I'm not sure if you're going to put the email or anything in it. I will. So,
matter of fact, you see it right here.
Okay. So yeah, just send me an email and we'll set up a consultation. Thanks.
All right, y'all. Well, I enjoyed. First of all, thank y'all for being on the podcast outside about Siyon 20th episode, and we definitely about to start kicking it in, doing more podcasts on a regular. So it's going down. Also, I will put up my links up for if anybody wants to donate to the enhancement of this podcast. I'm gonna put my links up. You see them right here. And I appreciate your gratitude for anybody who does donate to this podcast. I will definitely have gratitude for that. Also, nuevamente a mi gente, gracias por su merced también. Viva la raza. So you know what I'm talking about, video. And y'all know what I'm about. So yeah. So anyway, So you got anything else to say, Mike? You good? We good? All right, man. You know how we do this thing. First of all, I want everybody to, take heed on dealing with yourself. Know how to love yourself. Also, get in tune with nature. Go outside, hug trees. Go outside, walk through the woods barefooted. Like I know people be laughing at that, but like it's grounded. Like I give you examples, just like charging that cell phone every day. Like you got to charge our souls because that's the source. You know what I'm saying? And our souls charge our body. Like I said, I'm 23, so I mean, I stay charged up. I stay charged up. I also exercise daily, Don't take, even if it's like 15, 20 minutes, just do something, walk, jump rope, whatever, work out, lift weights. You gotta take care of your physical body, got to. That's the only way you're gonna, look the way you wanna look and have the confidence that you want. Also fast, that's very important. And fasting doesn't always necessarily have to be food. It could be just anything that,
Feel like you on social media.
Right. It could be fasting from social media. It could be fasting from
you feel like you smoke cigarettes too
smoking,
much,
drinking, or whatever something that you just feel that's like taking too much of your time or is like using too much unnecessary time doing it. It could be anything. Again, fasting. But also food is a good way to fast too, because today, and especially the way the foods are today, they're not the best. You know what I'm saying? And fruits, make sure you eat a lot of fruits. Hydration through fruits, watermelon, cucumbers, coconuts. Well, I don't know if we have coconut, but they do have coconut water, which is A1. Yeah, just as good. So yeah. And and look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself I love you. Like 7 times a day. You look in the mirror all the time. Look in the mirror and tell yourself I love you. Power in that. And mean it. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna close out right here. As always, love and peace.
Perfection.